And I find it kind of funny, I find it kind of sad. The dreams in which I'm dying are the best I've ever had. Hey, it's Nate with another piano tutorial. Today I'm going to be doing Mad World. It was originally written and recorded by Tears for Fears, and then Jules did a slow piano version that was featured in the movie Donnie Darko. I really like both versions of this song, although for a solo piano arrangement, I'm going to be going off the Jules recording. This version really brings out the sadness in the song. I think one of the marks of a great song is you can take it and put it in a whole new style and context and still have it really shine. Anyway, let's do it. So the underlying chords for this song are really simple, and I recommend getting the chords and lyrics chart. I put a link down in the description. That'll help you follow along and see where the chords line up with the words you sing. You only need 4 chords for the song, so let's just start by learning those. And you might as well learn them with both hands at the same time. Here's those 4 chords in the order they appear during the verses. So the first one we've got is an F minor chord. That's F, A flat, and C. I'm actually just gonna do the same thing in the left hand because throughout the song at various points each hand needs to do these chords, so you might as well just get used to the shape. So that's the F minor. Then we've got an A flat, so we're gonna move up. It has the same A flat and C in it, but then an E flat up there. Next we've got an E flat. We're gonna move down to that. It's gonna be E flat, G, and B flat. And then finally we've got a B flat major chord. We're going to come up for that. We've got B flat, D, and F. So that's black, white, white. And this song is in a slow 4/4 time, so that means that each one of these measures gets 4 counts. So you can kind of already hear the verse a little bit. All around me are familiar faces, worn out places, worn out faces. And the only sections that are not the verse, so like the intro and then the choruses, all those do is go back and forth between the F minor and the B flat major. So that's going to be like the, and I find it kind of funny, I find it kind of sad. The dreams in which I'm dying are the best I've ever had. Now, as we get into the details of the piano part, if it feels a little too advanced, you could totally just take the chord chart and run with it with what we know so far. You could do a full version of this song where you just play the chords and hold them with your right hand, and then maybe just add left hand bass notes on the notes that the chords are named after. And that would be a great version. But from here on out, I'm just gonna go through the song and discuss the piano parts as they're played on the recording. So I think the next step is to get the left hand doing this pattern, and I'll just do it on an F minor for a sec. So that's just going back and forth between the bottom note, the root of the chord with the pinky, the 5th finger, and then the 3rd and 5th, the middle and top note, with the 3rd finger and the thumb. And you're just rocking back and forth on each count, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Just get the hang of that. Helps just to stay relaxed, keep your wrist up. If it feels a little awkward at first, your muscles will figure it out if you just repeat it a little bit. Get that muscle memory going on. And once you get the hang of that, let's think about the intro. We're gonna be going back and forth between the F minor, just one measure, and then up to B flat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. And this is gonna be the part that sounds like this. So to learn that right hand melody, we got to think about the 8th note. So we've been counting 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're thinking about the space in between 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. The right hand for the first part of this melody is just going to literally play on every single 8th note. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So that's the first measure, and then in the second measure it just holds that D. So starting with my 3rd finger, that's A flat, C, G, A flat, F, G, and then I'm just gonna kind of move my 2nd finger to the E flat, D, and hold that out with my thumb. You'll notice it sounds pretty smooth when I do it because I'm holding the sustain pedal. That's why when I hop my finger from that G to the E flat, it doesn't create a silence. Throughout the song, I'm going to use the sustain pedal, just holding it down with a quick lift every time the chord changes. If you need help with that timing and coordinating the lift, check out my video on sustain pedals. Let's try putting those hands together. So the right hand's just going to be playing exactly twice as fast as the left hand. So it's going to be like together, right, together, right, together, right, together, right. And then that's where the left hand goes up to the B flat chord and it just holds for the whole measure. It's a little strange how you play that D with your thumb and then the left hand moves in on this space to play that B flat chord. If you're holding the sustain pedal, it's going to be fluid and you won't notice anything weird. Your left hand can just kind of take over holding down that note. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4. So the second half of that intro melody is really similar. The one kind of weird thing is the A flat that starts it hits an eighth note early. It actually hits on the and after 4, the final eighth note of that measure of B flat. So you hit on the and after 4, it holds for beat 1 when you would have played it the first time around, and then it does the same thing you did with C, G, A flat, F, G. Now the difference is instead of going down to those other notes, you're just going to step up A flat, B flat. So the whole intro all together. Then we're in the verse. So for the verse, we're just going to continue that left hand pattern around the verse progression. For the first half of the verse, the right hand can just sit it out. It's going to sound like this. All around me are familiar faces, worn out places, worn out faces, bright and early for the daily races, going nowhere, going nowhere. Now on the recording, there's a little bit of extra notes kind of ringing out, some on piano, some sort of sound effects too. For the second half of this verse, just very lightly add in a couple extra notes in my right hand. For the F minor, I'm just gonna add an F. For the A flat, I'm just gonna add an A flat. For the E flat, I'm actually going to step down to the third of the chord to the G, and then for the B flat, I'll just do a B flat. Just adds a little something extra. Sounds like this. The tears are filling up their glasses, no expression, no expression. Hide my head, I wanna drown my sorrow. No tomorrow, no tomorrow. So on the no tomorrow, you can just hold that B flat chord and then we are in the chorus. So for this chorus, the left hand's gonna keep doing that pattern just between the F minor and the B flat. And I find it kind of funny, I find it kind of sad. But on the recording, there's another piano part in there in the right hand. It's gonna sound like this. So in the right hand, we're going back and forth between that F minor, and for the B flat, rather than hopping up there, we're gonna do an inversion. We're taking that top F back down there, so your thumb can just stay on that F. So we've got the F minor, and then for the B flat, it's F, B flat, D. And rhythmically, we're thinking about those eighth notes. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and it's got to be played really gently, otherwise it'll sound too groovy for this sad piano song. Once you get the hang of that, we can start thinking about putting the hands together. Now, because of the placement of the right hand F, when the left hand goes up to the B flat, they would both be fighting for that F, so we're just going to leave the F out of it for the left hand, and so the left hand part will do what it usually does here, and then when you come up here, you can just do those two notes back and forth. Sounds really nice. And just notice there's this interplay between the hands, but they keep connecting on beat 2 and beat 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and... So with the singing. And I find it kind of funny, I find it kind of sad. The dreams in which I'm dying are the best best I've ever had. I find it hard to tell you, I find it hard to take. When people run in circles, it's a very, very... So on that B flat, when he says circles, you just hold the chord, the rhythm stops. And then for the mad world, we're going to go back kind of to that intro vibe. Mad world, mad world. So the second half there was the exact same as the intro. You'll notice the first half was a little different. Instead of just doing single notes on... We're going to do this part where with the right hand pinky, we're just going to keep hitting C on every rhythm so it kind of harmonizes the notes. And the melody notes are a little simpler at first too. It's just going to be A flat, G, G, C, C, and then you can come down and do the E flat, D. And then that's the same, and then... So now we're going to be in verse 2, and here's where we have to do something a little bit different than exactly what the piano played on the recording. Because on the recording, a cello comes in and provides this nice bass line that gives it a little bit more power as the song develops. And if you don't have a cello player with you, the song's going to be kind of lacking here unless the left hand kind of takes over that cello role. Here's how this verse is going to sound the way I like to arrange it. So we're going to have the right hand take over the chord progression here. I'm moving it down here, kind of below middle C where the left hand was playing before. And I'm just going to do quarter note chords. 1, 2, 3, of course, nice and gentle. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'm going to go up to the E flat. Before we had been moving down to it. Up to the E flat up here. And then down to the B flat here. And the cello bass notes are gonna mostly just be following the bass notes of the chord. So for F, we're playing an F, and then we're gonna walk up to this G and then do the A flat for the root of the A flat. Now that's rhythmically gonna be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So on beat 3 of the A flat measure, we're going to hit a C. I'm just kind of going off what the cello does on the recording. Then for the E flat, you can do an E flat there. And then this is really nice here. For the B flat chord, we're going to do a D. So the low note there is actually the third, the middle note of the chord. Creates just a little bit of cool color there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Just hold that. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now you could just leave it at that and it sounds great. On the recording, the cello does a little bit of a variation. I feel like they were maybe improvising a little bit. The very first time for children waiting for the day they feel good, they actually hit a high G for that time for the E flat note. Happy birthday. Then the D, as we would expect, birthday. Then the next 2 times through are exactly how I showed you before. And then the 4th repetition, there's a bunch of stuff going on. We're gonna do F, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's gonna introduce a stepping up B flat on beat 3 up to the C on beat 4. 3, 4. Then it's gonna do the E flat here, but then also the G, and then of course finish just with the D. Let me show you that again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And then you're just gonna hold that there, the final B flat. Look right through me. And then we are in the second chorus. Now for this chorus, we're gonna do that exact same rhythmic pattern between the hands we were doing before, but we're gonna have the left hand be down an octave lower. So 2 things you might notice about my left hand here. I didn't do the full F minor chord, the A flat there, I just did the fifths. The reason is when you get this low on the keyboard, notes together that close tend to sound a little bit muddy. So that's why I just kept it open with the fifths, because the right hand's got that A flat covered. But then this is like right around the cutoff. It's kind of interesting. When you get up to this B flat, it actually does sound all right to do all three notes. So it's right about that cutoff. Every piano's a little different. Your piano might sound a little bit more clear down here or a little muddier up here. But anyway. And I find it kind of funny, I find it kind of sad. So other than that, it's just going to be the same thing you're still going to do. When the people run in circles, just hold the B flat for circles. And then we've got, it's very, very... I'm going to bring the left hand back up and go into this Mad World section exactly like it was before. Mad World. Mad World. On the recording, you might notice there's actually two pianos, like one in each ear. One is kind of doing the, and the other one is doing the. So I'm going to do it the way we did it before because I don't have four hands. And then there's two more lines, and for both of those, we're just going to do the one that does and ending with the E flat D. That's where the words are a little different. It goes, enlarge in your world, mad world. And that's the end. All right, so now I'm going to do a complete cover of the song so you can see how all those parts we talked about fit together for the full arrangement. If you got some value out of this, I would appreciate it if you subscribed and hit that bell so you know when I put out more videos like this. Give the video a thumbs up and let me know in the comments what songs you want to hear next. All right, here is my version of Mad World. All around me are familiar faces, worn out places, worn out faces, bright and early for their daily races, going nowhere, going nowhere. Their tears are filling up their glasses. No expression, no expression. Hide my head, I wanna drown my sorrow. No tomorrow, no tomorrow. And I find it kinda funny, I find it kinda sad. The dreams in which I'm dying are the best I've ever had. I find it hard to tell you, I find it hard to take. When people run in circles, it's a very, very mad world. Mad world. Children waiting for the day they feel good. Happy birthday, happy birthday. And I feel the way that every child should sit and listen, sit and listen. Went to school and I was very nervous. No one knew me, no one knew me. Hello teacher, tell me what's my lesson. Look right through me, look right through me. And I find it kind of funny, I find it kind of sad. The dreams in which I'm dying are the best I've ever had. I find it hard to tell you, I find it hard to take. When people run in circles, it's a very, very mad world. Mad world. Enlarge in your